Just a good old boy. Never meaning no harm.
Cheers, buddy. Let's have some fun. What a great show. One of my favorites growing up.
Oh, it was an after-school special.
After school. You had good parents.
Yes.
Oh, man. Welcome back to Geoholics. Oh, such a great song. Back to better times. You know what I mean? Simpler times.
Yep.
Simpler times. Episode 266.
Damn.
266, as producer Sean would like to say right now. Producer Sean is actually somewhere over the Atlantic as we speak, on his way to Intergeo. The producer gets to go early, take his family, go to Copenhagen for a couple days, while the talent has to wait till Saturday, show up, probably unload while he's still gallivanting or whatever it is he does. And then, yeah, we'll just all meet. We're going to meet up in Frankfurt. Russ is going to be there this year.
Nice.
So
Very
we're going to have some
cool.
fun. We got to get you there next year.
Yeah, definitely.
Would that be awesome?
Yeah, it would be. You know, like I said, that's a bucket list item for sure. That one worldwide. So
Let's not rule it out. If you start planning now, maybe your workload will allow you to take a week off.
that's wishful thinking, but I like it.
You like it?
I like
Yeah,
it.
let's manifest it, right? Let's manifest that. All right. Like I said, episode 266. Thanks for listening, everybody. We mentioned Intergeo. I leave Saturday. Like I said, producer Sean's on his way. Russ is going to be there. That is next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Really looking forward to that. Already got some really good interviews lined up with some very, very interesting and influential people. So we're going to have a really good time as always. Next year, it's in Munich, by the way. And it's like a week earlier. So it's right in the heart of Oktoberfest.
Okay, I'm in.
Bam. I knew I'd get you with that one. I knew I'd get you. We've also got the Women's Surveyor Summit coming up in Las Vegas. That's the end of October. Well, just a couple weeks away, actually. I think it's the 22nd through the 24th, I believe, are the dates on that. And we will be there for a couple days as well. Peter Cox will be there.
Oh,
making
awesome.
a guest appearance.
Awesome. Yes. And a great show. I finally listened to that. I got behind. I got caught up.
Oh, yeah. You listened to that one. That was a good one.
Great. Yes.
Yeah. Those
Yes.
ladies did a great job promoting
yes.
it. Amanda and Anna, super excited for them. You know, congrats on their success. This thing just gets bigger every single year.
Yep.
So
Excited for them. That's awesome.
Yep. And then Trimble Dimensions, we're not going to be there this year. We'll be there next year, but that is November 11th or 10th through the 12th in Las Vegas.
Some of us will be there.
You'll be there.
Yes.
Oh,
absolutely.
awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
Dustin, actually, our guest and myself will be doing a presentation there.
There you go. Looking forward to that, hearing more about that. I'm sure it'll go swimmingly, as they say. Of course, this episode is powered by MLID, who we already have a couple interviews lined up with in Intergeo. They have a huge announcement they're going to make on the show. They, of course, make aerial and terrestrial surveys faster and easier than ever before. To learn more, there's going to be some exciting news coming out. Go to mlid.com. Other updates, what's new with you, buddy?
Oh, just busy. It's been a crazy week with the YSN. We'll talk about that later.
That was last weekend.
That was last weekend. Yep. The week before that, I was down in Tucson, saw Sean.
Nice.
At the Roads and Street Conference.
Very cool.
They did an awesome job with the marketing on that thing. It was back to the future based. So it was really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. We usually go to that this year, though. I was not able to go.
Man, I think they had like 1,500 people there.
It's a big one.
It was
the biggest one of the year.
Yeah, it was like a reunion from,
yeah.
You know, if you've been in this industry, somebody that you know is there. And so it was a good time. So it was good to see Sean there. I think they sponsored.
They had a booth and they did some sponsorship or something like that. Yeah,
they did.
Yeah, his company's growing a lot.
Yes.
Alta's acquiring firms and doing all the things that Sean likes to say.
I was recruiting as many people as I could to come down for Dustin and the YSN event. So
awesome. Awesome. Well, we'll talk more about that here in a minute. Like I said, I wasn't able to go to Roads and Streets, and I wasn't able to go to the YSN thing. My daughter got married last weekend.
Oh, awesome.
It was awesome. I mean, everything worked out really well. I mean, the weather got a little dicey at times.
Where was it?
It was in Scottsdale. Okay. It was here. Yeah, it was great. Everything worked out really, really good. Had the rehearsal on Friday, rehearsal dinner Friday evening, wedding on Saturday, of course, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, wedding hangover. And I'm just now starting to feel like myself again.
Right. Well, this is your second time, right?
Second time.
So
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 now I'm like a seasoned veteran.
I was gonna say, is it
Yeah.
any easier?
It was so much
just-
easier. So much easier. The first time I was like,
man.
I was an emotional wreck. Like first time, like I hardly could stop crying, to be honest with you. This time I'm like, let's do this.
That's awesome. I
Let's
have
party.
I have 2 daughters myself, so I'm
You
gonna
just wait.
You need to write a book on this stuff, man.
I will be there to support you any way possible because it is something else, that's for sure.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks, man. It was awesome. So yeah, our weekly updates, of course, are brought to you by Topodot, leading the way in point cloud feature extraction and data governance. To find out more, visit topodot.com. Song of the week. I like that one a lot. Who do we got? Who did we have there?
Absolutely.
Mr. Wing?
This is Mr. Waylon Jennings. That's a Dukes of Hazzard theme. Waylon Jennings was an American country music legend, known for his deep, commanding voice and his role in shaping outlaw country. Movement of the 1970s along Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, and Chris Christopherson. Born in 1937 in Littlefield, Texas, Jennings began a career as a DJ before working with Buddy Holly and later forging his own path as a singer and songwriter. With his rebellious spirit, iconic style, and influence across genres, Jennings remains one of the most enduring figures in American music history and also has some Arizona history.
What is it?
Coolidge, Arizona. He was a DJ in Coolidge, Arizona.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He was a guitarist for Buddy Holly, and after the crash,
Oh,
the band dissembled, and he came to Arizona, worked in Coolidge.
oh my God.
It's gonna kill me. I can't remember. There's a little bar there in Coolidge. It's still there that he used to play at.
How cool is that?
And so Google it.
I will. I absolutely will.
It. It's awesome.
But look at the names he's associated with: Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, Chris Christopherson, Buddy Holly, for God's sake. And isn't his son a musician? I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't remember his son's name, but following in his dad's footsteps to a certain degree. But classic music. Song of the week is brought to you by Altair Central. Just had those guys on last week. What do you hear that episode? Holy cow, we had a good time. They are, of course, your Trimble dealer for all things survey mapping and even marine gear. To find out more, go to allterracentral.com. All right, moving right along. Look at us go. We're so efficient tonight, Will.
Sir.
I think producer Sean might be the distraction in this operation here. This week we have the GeoNet count of the week. You're on here, Will.
All right, GeoNet. So, Kent, have you? We won't go there. So, by setting up a GeoNet satellite reference,
It's in a box behind us.
GeoNet miners not only earn passive crypto income, but also empower critical sectors to function in the real world with precision navigation, including artificially intelligent robots, drones, autonomous vehicles, augmented reality, and metaverse. Yes.
Guys,
remember that word?
Yes.
Yes.
It's coming back.
Yes.
It's coming back.
So the current count, there's 19,859 satellite miners.
Who of those are not active? I can confirm.
And confirm. Over 4,500 cities and 148 countries. I mean, basically, this is so guys like me that are down in the canyon can actually get RTK.
Yeah.
Don't have to post process. So
yeah, these guys are building a freaking monster. Yeah. Like, are you following them like on LinkedIn and stuff like that? They're everywhere. I'm sure we'll see Mike from GeoNet at InterGeo next week. I'm sure. I think he's like somewhere in Asia right now. Like the guy is traveling the world and building this monstrous network. It's unbelievable what he's accomplishing.
That's just
crazy. And if I would install one of the two back here, it'd be 4,501 city.
There you go.
Because it would be Pine, Arizona. That's a town, but I would count it. We would add it on here for sure. To find out more about GeoNet, simply visit geonet.com. Something that's really cool, you go there, you click on the Find a Hex tab, and this is where you can find out if there is a miner in the hexagon where your house or place of business is. And if there's not, you can get a miner and put it on your house or place of business and start making some money.
Yes, why not?
Yeah, in addition to helping the profession, kind of pay it forward, as some might say. All right, let's get our guests in here. Our guest, as usual, this week is brought to you by David Evans and Associates. To find out more about the DEA difference, simply visit DEAINC geoholics.com. We've got Dustin Gardner with us. We've been trying to make this episode happen for quite some time.
Yes.
We finally have done it. Dustin, born in San Diego, he attended University of Nebraska-Lincoln, where he achieved a BA in American literature, of all things, minors in math and criminal justice. This is the perfect path to being a surveyor.
Yes.
He also attended Idaho State University, where he achieved a certificate of survey. Now it's starting to make sense. His current job, he is a project manager at our good friend Trent Keenan's company, Diamondback Land Surveying,
The man.
working on the EV team. I'm super excited to hear about that. His
Yes.
passions are family, volunteer work, survey outreach, historical preservation, I love that, and teaching. Dustin, finally, welcome to the Geoholics.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's surprising how difficult it is to get like what 3 grown men to have the same schedule so we could talk.
Well, you said grown men.
Yeah.
Arguably.
Oh yeah, that's questionable.
2.5.
Some would still say boys. For sure. So how have you been, man? How's Diamondback Land Surveying and working in the EV group?
Oh, it's great. So bumped into Trent. Gosh, it was 2 years ago. Had no idea who he was. Bumped into him at a West Fed conference. Might have been CLSA Nels. I can't remember. But started talking with him because I was doing outreach stuff in Arizona, and every time I came up with an idea, I'd talk to Will or somebody, and they'd be like, I think someone's done something like that. Like, have you talked to? I think there's a guy in Vegas. It's Trent. Have you talked to him? And you do that 3 or 4 times, and then after that, every time I had an idea, it's like I'm just gonna call Trent and ask him, see if he's already done this. And
Exactly.
so we've been talking for a while. I probably should have talked to him a lot sooner, but happy to be where I am now, and he's got
That's
a
awesome.
bomb-proof team, so loving it.
Oh yeah, you're in a good spot
Awesome,
for
man.
sure, for sure.
Yes.
So before we get into it, we definitely want to talk at least a little bit about the YSN event this past weekend. Tell me the highs and the lows, because there's a lot of stuff going on. Will, if you would real quick, talk about what you guys did, what the idea was, and then just a little
Yes.
bit about how it went.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you the outline, and then I'm going to let Dustin fill in the blanks. All right. So
Fair enough.
this a little bit of history on this. This is the 3rd event that the YSN has had, and Dustin has been at the head of all of this from the get-go. And so, learning from those past 2 years, this event went really well. And the new president, Nathan, same thing, outstanding. These two guys have a great future going. So basically, the scope of the project was, let's do a boundary. Let's tie this project into state plane coordinates, and let's get control set. Let's get a baseline scan, and let's get that down into the mine, and let's teach everybody that shows up how to do it. And then, let's have, leave enough time to where everybody can still go and take in the town, do a little sightseeing, and then come have some sandwiches.
Visit the local watering holes, maybe.
Maybe. Yes, exactly. And so, but like I said, Dustin, I mean, this guy, he had to move states during the middle of all this planning. So how did you manage to keep all these we'll call them action items in order?
How do you manage to do everything that you do, Dustin? That's what the people really want to know.
Yeah.
Unsafe levels of caffeine is the answer to that one. So if you take the recommended daily dosage and then double it, you can get a lot done. So no, this year was really got to give credit to Nate, because that's the past 2 years. Will and I have we've done a bunch setting up. We did the courthouse last. And by the way, we produced the first ever floor plans, or they call them blueprints, but floor plans for the courthouse that the state parks ever had. So they never had anything like that before.
Wow.
They've got all sorts of data for it now, so God forbid it burns down, we can put it back.
Absolutely.
But yeah, this one, man, Nate was like, I've got a friend that does mines down there. We go do mines, and in my mind, it's like, that's the joke that I told him. It's like, I'll stay topside, so when that thing collapses, I can tell everyone all about you. But yeah, I think the running joke was, it's like, I don't really want to be the focus of like a Woody Guthrie folk song about, the lost surveyors. But we got in there. I had a lot of fun. I got a crash course on how to do scanning like the week before. Um, Scanning was completely new to me, but I mean, you know Trent better than anybody, and he's got all the fun toys. So we went out and got the crash course, and it was a lot of fun. And the level of participation that we had was just unreal. We had a guy from Albuquerque, San Diego.
Hmm.
There was a couple people. I mean, there was people from all over that came out to this thing.
There's a guy from Utah.
That's
Yeah,
freaking
that guy.
awesome.
Those Utah people are rough,
This
man.
guy.
Yeah,
That's right.
but
You know what? I don't think it was a Guthrie song. It'd probably have been a Ben Shinneberry song.
There you go.
Acres and Chains. Acres and Chains. He would have wrote a song about you guys.
Oh.
There's no doubt.
Well, I'll tell you if you've ever read Dustin's book, he'll talk about that in a minute. But some of the creatures that he talks about, when you get down in there, at one point we turn the lights off.
Oh
And
God.
There's no dark
would've been
like
like,
the
"No,
darkness
thank
on
you."
the inside of a mine. I mean, and
Yeah.
you start hearing noises, and there's a lot of
No,
there's
thank
a lot
you.
of drifts and little caves where you see footprints in there. So it's
How far
Well-
down were you guys?
how far, Dustin? Yeah.
oh geez, I think it was 200-300 feet below ground, and it went further. There's the one they're about to open is deeper. He said it was like 500 or 600 feet deep.
Wow.
And that one's gonna be an 18 and up. But yeah, did
Amazing.
he when he was down there with you? Did he tell you about the darkness? The
We were just running behind you guys, and we
Oh,
were
okay.
getting out of the way of the scan, and so I turned the light off with Garen, and we were like, this is sketchy. Can you imagine trying to have to feel your way?
Oh my
out
God.
of
I
this
get
mine,
the
like-
creeps thinking
Oh,
about
and
that.
they
That'd
used
be horrible.
They used candles back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's
no,
That
that's
sounds
what
like a
on that-
nightmare.
Oh yeah, no, that and then on that tour, I think it was the same guy that went down with us. He says there's only two places on Earth that you can achieve complete darkness, and it's the bottom of the ocean and in a mine. And
Mm.
yeah, no, that's
Two places I have no interest in going.
yeah, I'm good.
I need a little bit of light, apparently.
Well, it makes you appreciate, the guys and the people that
Oh, God.
did that back then, and
Yeah.
and everything had to be surveyed. You know what I mean? Like you could follow a drift, you could follow a vein, but
Yep.
it had to be mapped to know which direction you were going and know where you were
Sure.
out on the surface. I mean,
Yep.
to some extent. I mean,
So they had to run control down there, right?
Yep.
And then just basically traverse
and all the control was set in the back.
in
ceiling.
in the ceiling.
Yes, because they had
Oh.
rails on the bottom to get all the
Okay,
ore
okay.
out. So everything. So I just I think it's Surveyors United. What's his name? You guys have had him on here before. I can't remember his name, but anyways, he posts a lot of historical survey, and he had a picture. It looks like a snuff can, and they're spads.
Oh, was it
So-
Justin?
Justin
Justin
yes,
Farrell.
Yes, Farrell.
Yeah,
yeah, great.
Yeah.
He's got some great historical pictures. Anyways, there's a can of those. And so our guide who goes into a lot of mines and these guys are gnarly. They go in some shit that, it's awesome to watch the video of it afterwards. But I
Yeah.
asked him, have you found any of these? He goes, sometimes, because they would hang a plumb bob off of it and then center their total station on the top. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Plunge it and come in from the top instead of the bottom. So
So
everything was inverted.
it's a whole nother world. Man, oh man.
But Dustin, he was down there. Like there was parts where you had to duck, and they had chains where you could hold on like one of those Olympic rings, so that everybody could get through there. And he's got this tripod on, 0.5 meters.
Yeah, no, it was as low as it
Wow.
possibly could go. So you can try and because you can run and the X9 will register it's scan to scan, but you're gonna have to get something. And yeah, we had just a little gap, and it's like, we have to lower this so that we can get it across, and hopefully once we hop over and down, just like a little lightning bolt jog right in the entryway. And yeah, it was. If you're claustrophobic or afraid of the dark or bugs, it's not really your spot.
No,
But
thank you.
It was cool.
Not for
and-
me. I can tell you right now.
Oh yeah, no,
Crazy.
it was. I never would have done it. So kudos to Nate for getting me in there, and I'm glad
Yeah,
after the
what a
fact.
great
I'm glad I did it because it
experience.
was cool.
There was even a couple people that when we were doing the intro
Mhm.
and he was laying out the safety issues, there was a couple people that didn't want to go down, and
Mm.
he told them the facts about the mine and
Mhm.
the stability of it. That mine hardly has any timber in it because of the rock that's in it.
Mm.
I mean, it is like caliche. It is just like natural
God damn,
concrete.
how'd they get through it? Like,
So
how'd they drill through
drill and
that?
blast. I
Good
mean, the
God.
original guys were drilling with with the chisel
Unbelievable.
before. Yeah,
Those guys
it
be
was.
really good with breaking out of prison. So yeah,
But so
Alcatraz.
so they that couple actually ended up, and that's our vice president Davis. They ended up coming in and had a great time.
Yeah,
I mean, once you get in there, they actually do dinners down there. They had a huge,
that's cool.
Like auditorium type thing, and
yeah,
Underground?
yes,
yeah,
Jesus.
and
they
they
lower
do.
food
So with
down a
Crazy.
shaft. They lower the food down the shaft.
Mm.
The old, what do they call that? The stope.
The dumbwaiter.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm
and
thinking dumb waiter. I know that's not right, but that sounds right.
Wow, wow.
That
Well,
was
great
awesome.
job with that, guys.
Yes, good
Sounds like
job,
a
man.
classic add value, make friends moment.
Yes, and the night you didn't get to tell them the fun part about the night before when it was raining like an inch. I think we
Oh,
got an inch of rain in one night.
slept
Yeah,
in your
we.
car, I heard.
Yeah, well, so the original idea was because the year before, it's October in Arizona.
Hmm.
It's you can handle the heat. It's not too bad in the
Technically,
evening, and
still monsoon season, though, Dustin, right at the tail end of monsoon season.
yeah,
And you guys got the
They
monsoon of the
got it. They
year.
got it.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. No, so there was a couple of us were like, we'll just camp. It'll be cool. We'll have a fire pit. We'll
Heck
go to
yeah.
Circle K and pick up a rack of Coors Light. It'll be great. And yeah, then it downpoured, and it's like I'm not setting up a tent just to pack it in a hot car and
No
get
way.
moldy. So
Yep.
slept in the back of a compact Corolla and woke up the
Yes,
next morning and off we
My
went.
God.
dude. That's how
But
You guys
country
are
songs were written,
troopers.
man.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm telling you, Ben Shinneberry should write a song
Dude,
about this.
yes, we
This
can.
is fantastic
Yes.
stuff.
I,
No
I
doubt. I'm
like
gonna make a suggestion to Ben to reach out to you guys. Oh man. Well, let's get on with this. So, Dustin, this background went to Nebraska Lincoln and got a degree in Victorian German literature, minors in math and criminal justice. What put you on the path of becoming a surveyor?
so I had originally I jumped around a bunch in college like everyone did. I started out civil
You and me both,
engineering,
buddy.
Good for
and
you guys, man.
you got to experience it all, right? There's
Exactly.
some cool stuff out there, but I started in civil and I loved it all the way up until I started interning in civil, and then I didn't like it.
Mm.
So I got through statics and switched, and it's like, well, maybe I'll go and I'll do the literature thing and become a professor because that's all you can do with that. And talking with, I made no friends in the literature department. I was actually referred to as combative. And so that's why I don't have a master's, is because you have to make friends in order to get letters of recommendation for masters. Um, but I got the criminal justice minor and math minor because I already had the classes with civil, and I was going to be a cop. Um, and moved home so I could work at one of the departments that my grandpa was volunteering for. And my stepdad, who's also a surveyor, I'm fourth generation, so my stepdad and uncle and grandpa and great grandpa and brother-in-law are all surveyors.
No way.
So cool.
Oh yeah, Thanksgiving gets exciting. You want to liven things up. You ask like a weird boundary question, and you're gonna start a fight. Um, but
Honestly.
so we came back, and then like the cops need to understand how to use our equipment for accidents. So why don't you come out and work as a at the Rick San Diego office? They still call them chainmen or chain
Mm.
people or the assistants. So went back there, and it got to a point where it's like um, I'm home on the weekends and holidays, and no one's shooting at me most of the time. Uh, so it's like I'm loving it. I still get to kind of flex my math muscles a little bit, and there's history involved. So it's like this is fun. Um, and yeah, it just kind of took off from there, but didn't get really serious about it until came back to Phoenix and started working with Rick Phoenix. So
Very cool. And now, so now, like we mentioned, you're with Diamondback and project manager in their EV group, which is electric vehicles, of course. I know Trent does a lot of stuff for, infrastructure, charging stations, that type thing. Is that the type of projects you're working on right now?
yeah, yep. So I'm kind of playing fireman right now. So I'll help process all the crews, line work and stuff in the morning because I know TBC and
Mhm.
hop in, and it's we have a lot of the EV going. So I'll just bounce around from other project managers and say, hey, who needs help the most, and yeah,
Mhm.
it's all these little EV sites all over the West, and so it's another one of those that's really nice. You're doing a different EV site every other day or so, so it's constantly changing and new challenges, I guess. I won't say problems, new challenges to tackle, and so
Yep.
it's fun. My kind of projects. But
Are those basically just little boundary and topos? I mean,
yeah, it's like a modified Alta. So we'll
okay,
do. It's not a complete Alta, but you'll still plot all of the Schedule Bs for the property.
right. They
And
got to know what they got to miss when they're digging those
yep,
trenches, right?
Mm.
Awesome.
yeah.
That's
So they're
awesome, man.
smaller. They're a little quicker to process, but
Mhm.
still a lot of fun. And like I said, it's a great team, and that's one of the things talking to other people now, especially that are younger in the profession. It's like, dude, study who you're gonna go work for and meet the team
Yeah.
because you can't put a price tag on enjoying who you're working with. You're gonna spend more time with
Sure.
these people than your spouses, so you gotta like them, or your life's gonna be not fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Well said. And like, I mean, I give Trent, kudos for a million different things. But one of the things he has done a really good job finding the right people that, are willing to travel and work
Mhm.
on these type projects. And he has this survey teams he sends out and they go do their thing for a week at a time. And got, guys like Dustin on the office side supporting them. And it works. It
Yeah,
works,
he retains them. They
Yeah.
stay. They don't. Yeah,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
that's
Trent does
not a
a
bit to say.
really good job at that for sure. Um, Let's talk about, we talk about mentors a lot, and you mentioned a couple, some folks in your family are surveyors. Is there anybody in particular that you would like to mention when it comes to mentors, like, somebody or one or two people that have, really influenced your career and the direction it's gone so far?
Oh man, that's hard to narrow that down to one or two. I mean, man, there's so many. But by far, I think my personal closest friend in the field is, and it's neck and neck. Will, don't get mad, but it's got to be Amanda Allred. And both Amanda and Will are probably the two that if I have something weird, I'll call them and say, hey,
Mhm.
what's going on here? Um, and both of them I met in funny ways. To be honest, I was deathly afraid of Amanda because she had all these accolades and all these things. And she was at a Westfed conference, and I was talking with Mike Wally and where Rob Moores were talking with her, and I came up and she said something just off the wall, and I'm like, oh my God, you're a human.
Mm.
And after that, I mean, we clicked and we talk. I mean, almost weekly. But Will was probably the first, I guess, mentor. And we didn't know it at the time. I was working on a Saturday, and he cornered me in a QT, and he's like, "Signeri's got you working on weekends, huh?" And I'm like, "Oh, great! I'm working for the mob. I'm about to get knocked off." Um, but yeah, I had no idea. Will gave me one of his lanyards, and I'm like, "Infinity," and it's like, "Huh, that's cool. I'm nice to talk to him. I'll probably never see him again." Um, and yes, now we used to live right down the street when I was still in Phoenix, and
Yeah.
I tell my wife, it's like, I got to run over by Will's quick, and she's like, all right, I'll see you in a couple hours. And so it's
Awesome.
there's so many people, but yeah, growing up in a family of surveyors,
Yeah,
I
fourth
know,
generation surveyor. I mean, that's
That's pretty amazing. But that's how it
yeah,
happens, though.
yeah.
It's like most people, they have some off the wall story on how they got into survey, or it was family,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Like generational
exactly.
type thing, like in Dustin's case,
And
which is super cool.
yeah, I remember coming up and there was, guys my age or in that same era, and they just were like so far ahead of me. And I'm like, how do you know all this? It's like, oh, well, his dad was a surveyor.
Yeah. Or
Oh,
grew up in
okay.
it. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
But
awesome.
that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so cool. Like you mentioned, Amanda, you mentioned Will, of course, and like the friendships and the camaraderie that you get to, make and experience being a part of this profession just goes so far.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
It's a
you're going to
small
find
world.
there's some bad apples, obviously, but surround yourself with the good people, and what a support network you have. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Yep. Staying involved with a good group of people that are like minded, and yeah, you
There
can't
you
go
go,
wrong in it.
like-minded. That's what the term I was looking for.
Absolutely.
So Dustin, obviously you're passionate about survey outreach, teaching, historical preservation, which is super cool. We're going to get into a little bit more, but is there one challenge that you see? You're still a young surveyor, let's face it, right? Will, you're borderline young,
No,
but
I'm old. I'm
you're
over
still,
that.
you're,
I'm
I'll
over
I'll
that.
still
I'm
call you
over
a
it.
youngish surveyor, and you can answer this too. I'd love to hear your response as well. But what is the challenge that you see facing the profession currently? And like what would that challenge be?
Man,
Dustin?
the big one I think is trying to get people to convince them to hire people that are energetic about it. So even if the problem we ran into was trying to get people to hire green assistants. So
Hmm.
there was a while there where it was, and I'm not going to take credit for Will and I helped, but it was the guys at Cooper. It was Zach and Phil
Hmm.
Gershowitz,
Yep.
and dude, they did a killer job. And we had like 30 some kids for like 3 or 4 months in a row showing up. They were stoked
Oh
about
yeah, I
surveying
remember
and
that.
wanted to get
Yeah.
involved. And yeah, it's like, we hired three, and I think Cooper hired three, and then the other people were like, hey, we're putting in applications, and no one's taking us.
Mm.
And it's like, it's one of those things that for us, you get this green person, but they're excited about serving and they want to do the work. Dudes, you can't teach that. So
Yep.
when those people come along, it's like, yes, you're going to have to invest some time. Yes, they're probably going to make some mistakes. Run your two-person crews, train them well, and
Hmm.
man, you're going to have just a killer surveyor. Because I mean, out of the three that we hired, all of them made great survey assistants. One of them's a chief now. I think he's moved on to a different kind of
Oh wow.
company, but one's a chief. So it's like trying to get we can get people excited about surveying and want them to get involved, but we got to get other people that are willing to hire out those people, and be willing to
Hmm.
train them.
Yeah, and I think you touched on one thing there that makes that a challenge is so many companies, probably primarily smaller companies, are one person crews, right?
Yeah.
So they don't have the bandwidth per se to spend the time teaching, and that's one of the downfalls of having a one person
But they
survey crew. There's no
did.
doubt.
They did at one time
At
when
one
there
time they
was,
did. Yes.
and so that I think
Yeah.
that needs to be, kind of reminded, like, hey, you know what I mean? Like all these awesome chiefs now that are in their,
Hmm.
40s and 50s, they started out
Yep.
with two or three guys telling them what
Oh
to
yeah.
do, and
Right.
now we're not getting that, and so you need to invest back into that
Yep.
instead of looking to take somebody from another company that's,
Hmm.
already there, and it's business, right?
Yep.
It's you got to keep the wheels turning, but that doesn't keep the garden growing, and you've got to
Does
grow the garden.
not.
You
Does
got to
not.
grow the garden. And so what Dustin's saying is, if we're going to career fairs and we're showing them all of our awesome tools and career paths, but then you don't have anything to give to them, it's kind of
Yep.
it's kind of discouraging. And
Yep.
so we're working on that, though.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
definitely
Let's take it one step further, because even like, obviously the number of, educational, institutions offering, whether it be an associates in surveying or even a 4-year degree in surveying, that's becoming smaller and smaller, right? And it's not a plug and play thing. Just because somebody gets a associate's degree in survey or a certificate, or even a bachelor's in either geomatics or whatever,
Mhm.
doesn't mean that you can take them out of college, plug them in, and they're going to be productive.
Nope.
Surveying is still one of those things that you have to learn kind of hands on. That's why mentorship is so huge. in
Oh,
this
yeah.
in this profession, right?
Absolutely. You can't, and that's one of the, I mean, that's what I've been telling, some of the guys that have taken or folks that have taken the exams, they're like, man, some of these questions are just like, they're so gray. And it's like, try and write a black and white survey question, like a truly black and white, and you're not going to
Yep.
get it. And it's the same reason that we can't teach every single scenario in school, because you can go through Waddles cover to cover and know it inside and out. But until you
Yep.
sit with a really just jacked up boundary and go, get the grumpiest, oldest guy in the office to say, how do I even attack this? Like, you're not going to learn. So, no, the
Yeah.
mentorship's priceless. But
Yeah. Yeah. And the other challenge is, even the company I work for, I mean, larger company, lot of remote employees, right?
Yep.
And that creates challenges as well. I mean, I get it, it's technology allows us to do stuff like that and still be productive, but it does have an effect on the mentorship part of it.
Oh yeah, and the education part too. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
can get it. You can get an online surveying degree, but
Yep.
you know, my degree, we had to go out on that field and pull chain and run levels and learn this stuff. And
Yeah.
I mean,
Hands on.
we do have programs for that. The online programs are utilizing, local firms to get this stuff done. And it's also really good because it might lead to a potential job. It's kind of an internship. If you go, like if somebody comes and asks me, hey, I'm taking an online school in Idaho, New Mexico State, wherever, I need to do a leveling lab. Can I come out with you on Saturday and work with you? And maybe we can do this at the end. Absolutely. Come
Yep.
on out, and then if you do a good job, maybe now I'm as an employer thinking, hey, you got somebody with interest here that is going to school learning,
Yeah.
so that can work on top of it. But do you know anyone that's done that? I don't know anyone that's done that.
I don't think I do. And the other thing is, it's like I've been doing this a long time. The money is made in the field, right? The stuff that these survey crews are doing in the field isn't really taught in college. I mean, it's really not. I mean, you
not as
touch
up
on
to
it.
date. You learn the
Not-
fundamentals, but you're not learning about the latest
Yeah.
and greatest equipment. I
Yeah.
mean, and it's
So that side of
couldn't
things,
afford
which
it.
honestly, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, that's where the money's made is in the field. You want your field staff to be top notch, on top of their game. The only way they're going to get there is if you mentor them and you have somebody who's been doing this forever showing them how to do it, because they're not going to learn it any other way. You can't expect them to. They don't know what they don't know.
Exactly. And so I think Dustin's getting a front row seat with, having to, go through all these crews surveys and work through them and tell them this and that. And you're getting a front row seat.
yeah, yeah, no, and that's something I've barked about with a couple of surveyors at conferences. It's everyone puts a lot of value on an RLS, and yes, they're important,
Yep.
so on and so forth. But if you've got a field crew that's routinely bringing you garbage and missing stuff and shooting stuff wrong, it doesn't matter if you have the best RLS in the world. You're not going to be able to do anything with it. And Trent's big thing is he's talking about, we're about to lose all these licenses. There's this big cliff coming. That's just the first of two. Because if you have a bunch of one-man crews or one-person crews that aren't training the next set of party
Yep.
chiefs, that's going to be your second wave. And it's
That might actually hit harder, to be honest
Yeah.
with you.
yeah. So hopefully, if you're young with an RLS, you better stay up to date with the equipment because you're probably going to be back out there. So, but no, big fan of the two-person crews, and I'm really happy that here with Trent, he's like, nope, that's a safety thing. There's two people
for
out there
sure.
all the time,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
so like I said, my stepdad's a career party chief, fantastic at it. So it's one of those where it's like you got to take care of your field guys, field people.
Oh God, yeah.
So
1,000%. 1,000%. And that's the thing. It's like when somebody gets into surveying, you have options and what you can do. It's like you don't have to become an RLS to make good money, right? If you will commit the time and find a good mentor, a good company that, values mentoring, you're gold. Like you can make a really good living working on the field side versus the office side.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you look at the construction industry and the multi-level,
Yeah.
the level up guys.
Mhm.
Those guys are top notch at what they do. And if you took,
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure you took Dustin and I to a multi-story building and expected us to be productive. Yeah,
Mhm.
right. Like we have no
Right.
idea what we're doing in there. And I mean, it would take,
Yep.
months, maybe years to figure
Mhm.
out how to be efficient in running an operation like that. So
Mhm. Yeah.
there's so many different paths that you can take that, you don't need licensure, or, if you want to go that route, there's,
Mhm.
but like I said, mentorship and, you know, employers like Trent that are giving the opportunities for people to grow and
Oh, yeah.
actually,
Yep.
and that's what I think, Dustin used to vent to me and about other places that he worked at, that he was just kind of pigeonholed into a spot, and,
Mhm.
it didn't really see a growth potential that wasn't, you know,
Yeah.
within grasp, right?
Sure.
I've gotten
And Trent
gotten
definitely,
Yeah. Go ahead,
yeah,
Dustin.
yeah,
I was gonna say I've gotten lucky with a lot of the mentors, and coming into Phoenix working with people like Signeri and
Yeah.
Sostrom and
oh yes,
Mike Banta, who you've had
And
on the show.
yep.
Dude,
Yep.
that guy's knowledge is next level. There's a couple times he'd start going on a run and explaining stuff, and it's like, Mike, I gotta get my crayons. Just wait. I'm gonna have to draw this out. I can't keep up.
Yep.
And so it's
Yep.
like you come from guys like that, and then now to Trent and some of the guys.
Yep.
Trent's definitely, you see Trent, you talk to him, but man, some of the
Mhm.
RLSs that he's gotten there and their knowledge base is
Yep.
the more you learn in this profession, the more you realize that you don't know a damn thing.
Mm. Yeah,
So
you can never make assumptions, right? As soon as you start making assumptions, you are going to get burned. Whatever. What does they say? If you make assumptions, it makes an ass out of you and me, or whatever that
right,
saying is, or whatever. But it's like, and guys like Mike Banta, love the guy to death, wealth of knowledge, right? He's not going to be around forever. He's probably going to retire in the next 5 years. You got who else? I can think. There's like 6 people I was thinking of the other day here, just in Phoenix, that
right.
have been like the cornerstones of surveying that are probably going to retire in the next 5 years.
Oh yeah, and
Fondren,
that's.
Banta, and there's a bunch of these
I
guys.
mean, you're like in surveying. We're working with, uh, you know, measurements and how good is this measurement, and you're only as good as your network that you can ask all these people, because
Yeah, well said.
that's that's your
Yeah,
well, she's the
that's your plus or minus is,
yeah,
if I can ask 5 people and 2 of them tell me the same thing, then I'm going to feel a lot better about making that decision versus
sure,
just
no
going
question.
at it. Yes,
Absolutely, absolutely. And I want to go back to like the field crews just a little bit. Like I said, they don't know what they don't know, right? If they're not getting taught properly, they're out there doing the best they can, right? I have this great example that I've probably shared on the show 3 other times at least. We were doing a survey about, it was an Alta survey, so we were looking for the corners, blah blah blah, and one of the corners, we found it. It was a nail, but it was set in top, right where it should have been, but it was set on top of an electric box, like a transformer box. Like literally, there was a nail in a washer with the RLS number in on top of the electric box, right? And like our folks on the field, were like, you're not gonna believe this one. And I knew who the RLS was, right? So I called this person up, and I'm like, you're gonna laugh. I'm like, I know you're gonna laugh at this because I'm laughing at it. But it's a perfect example. Like the crew was sent out there, go set the corners, right? They didn't know better. So like, oh well, it falls on top of this transformer. I'm just gonna put a nail in with a washer. It's like they don't know what they don't know.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's like I said, mentorship. You can't put a price on it. It's you know, it's gold.
Oh,
It is. So
yeah. It's not ever gonna go away
nope.
until the mentors are gone. Then we're screwed.
Right. Keep that Rolodex deep.
Yeah. No doubt
I
about it.
think though there's just looking at the Young Surveyors National, and I mean even in Arizona, it's we're worried about it, but there's a good batch of people that are coming up. Um, I mean that was one of the things we really wanted to push with YSN when we set it up. Will and I, Will was VP, and we were
Yeah.
talking about making it a chapter with APLS, and it's like we really want to focus on these young surveyors being friends first, because if they're all friends and they're
Mhm.
talking, hanging out,
Like that.
they're going to push each other on their own. And we have, and there's a lot of promising talent all over the country that's coming up. So we're worried about it, but I'm working on a presentation and reviewing the writings of the Roman surveyors from 2,000 years ago. And one of the comments that they had in there was there's not enough surveyors. And these guys that we're sending out there that don't know the procedures are cutting corners on maps and it's screwing stuff up. So it's not a new problem. We've been apparently
No.
been stringing along for 2,000 years. So
Yeah.
it'll be
Yeah.
fine. We'll figure
Yeah.
it out.
If somebody can figure out how to solve that problem, they're gold. It's a golden thing. You know, you figure that out. Yeah. Will, you got some ideas. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, the Romans had a pretty good jump on it, all of us. So
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Um, what else here? Dustin, you got a lot of stuff going on outside of being a professional server. I want to make sure we give you an opportunity to talk about that. Where should we start? Do you want to talk about the work you're doing with foster kids?
Sure.
Talk about
So
that a little bit. I mean,
yes.
this is super impressive and it's got to be unbelievably rewarding.
it is. So actually started out there in Phoenix. The RIC office was on Deer Valley there up in the north, and right down the street was a small nonprofit of 7 people called OCJ Kids. And it was coming up on Christmas, and I went to my boss, Signeri, and I was like, hey, can we just put a box in here? And he goes, yeah, no, that's, no problem. And quickly we just connected with this group. And one of the big things that they did differently, because we did stuff back in Nebraska, and it's like you pull the tag off the Christmas tree and you buy the 3 things for the
Yep.
kids, and then you bring it back, and that's it. You never get to see it. Never goes further than that. But what OCJ did was they said, no, you're going to come and we're going to put you in front of these kids, and you're going to talk to them, and you're going to you're going to associate with them. And it was eye opening. And then talking to it's like you wanted to help more after that, and you started talking with them and you start realizing like this is more endemic than we thought. There's 400,000 kids in the US that are in the system, 13,000 in Arizona. It's gone down a little bit. 2020 there was 14,000. We're nearing 13,000. And they're great kids. It's honestly it's we've been doing stuff. We did stuff with them for the 5 years that I lived in Phoenix. And yeah, when we came up to Utah, it's like, all right, well, then we'll look for another place that's going to be similar to OCJ. And there's not. So if you're in Phoenix, look them up, get involved. It's worth your time. But yeah, we created Caritas Community, which Caritas is Latin for love. It's one of the 3 Augustinian pillars. I went to an Augustinian high school, and kind of brought me onto that was I went back and was rereading the Confessions, and Augustine has a quote in there, and he says, it's not one heart that loves your neighbor and one heart that loves God. So by loving your neighbor, it's an act of service. And so we took off with that, and and we expand. I mean, it's beyond foster kids, and we've donated to, Puddles in the Bank to Strong Like Sloan. Claire's killing it, and she's doing an awesome job with that. We've donated to in Vegas. There's a group that gets custom equipment for kids with cerebral palsy. We've donated to a number of things, but the foster kids it's one of those where if one of those campaigns doesn't pop up, it's like we can constantly be giving to this. So, and we do everything. We've donated clothes to kids. We've donated school supplies. We helped fund a birthday party for a 2-year-old, and someone was asking them like, is that really necessary? Like, it's not a need, and it's like, no, but it's dignity for that kid, and that's huge. Is you can't put a price on that, because this little kid, and she was only 2, so she didn't really know, but the foster mom that opened it up was Kinship Care, and she's like, she deserves one. Like all the other kids get one. Why can't she have one? And so we were really happy to donate to that. But our big thing is, and a lot of it we took from OCJ is dignity. And when all you get is secondhand things, it kind of makes you feel secondhand. So we're trying to go out of our way and make sure that we find new stuff and that it's stuff that these kids are going to want so that when they're in school and in class with these other kids, uh, they feel like just every other kid because they are. So, and they deserve that. It's the bare minimum for them that they're treated like all the other kids. So the only thing a kid should have to worry about is being a kid.
Mm. Powerful.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, we've helped out with some of their events, and these kids, you can you can see you know the lost in their eyes, and to be able to just show them something cool, you know what I mean? Give them some stickers and show them about surveying, and
Mhm.
tell them that this is something that all of you can do. It doesn't matter if you're what color you are, if you're a boy or a girl, it does not matter. The equipment
Where you
does
come
not
from.
care.
Yep.
If you go down, like in our state, you don't even need a college education. This is something that you can do, and you kind of, and like I said, we've done it a couple years, and some of the kids come back and they're like, "Oh yeah, I remember you," and that. So things, Dustin's organization is great with that because it's not just a one-time deal. It's they stay with them, and
Yeah.
that's what they remember. So
Why is it like both you guys are amazing at giving back to the community, paying it forward? Why is that important to you guys to do that?
Well, that's the
It's-
first. That's the first line of the Surveyor's Creed, right? It's protecting the well-being of the general public, and I don't think that just stops at maps.
Mm.
So there's, I mean, there's so many different ways to get involved, but I feel like if you're working in a community and you're getting money from producing these jobs and stuff, find a way to give back and I guess energize your community and when your community thrives, then you're going to thrive with it. So it's got to be a healthy ecosystem if you want to produce good stuff. So
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Well said.
I remember being one of those kids that was just very impressionable. You know what I mean? And if somebody did a good job and showed me something cool, I was like, I remember that. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Especially if they came back the next year and the next year and had cool shit for me to play with. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that. So that's kind of
And there's so many ways to get involved.
oh,
Like
absolutely, yeah,
one thing that comes to mind is, yeah, even the Boy Scouts, right? And the survey badge with the Boy Scouts. I
yep,
remember when we started doing that, back with US of AZ, no one had done it for like 17, 20 years,
yep.
right? And it's an easy thing to do, and it's such an easy way to give back to the community.
Oh yeah, we're doing it. You're invited. I've got an email with Tucson. She sent me 4 different dates.
Nice.
It's more of a streamlined process now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're in.
All right.
Yes.
Send me a calendar invite.
Yes. Will do.
But
Justin, you're in too. We're gonna get your ass down here again.
as long as I don't have to sleep in the back of a Corolla, that's
yeah. Or don't make it the summertime either.
yeah. No, I've gotten
Yeah.
spoiled. It's wild how quickly you like deacclimate because that's out here where I am in Utah. I think it got to maybe 95 this summer, and I'm out there and my pansy ass is going, "Oh, it's so hot, I can't do it." And it's like, I call Will, and he's like, "Man, if you were here, I'd throttle you."
Yes. That's awesome. Dustin, talk about the book series that you have going.
Yeah. So starting, I wrote Creatures of the Compass last year, this past December, and that was more. It was an encyclopedia of different creatures that appear in folklore, and I connected with Colin Sellers, who's been on the show too,
Yep.
and we're working on the For the Quest game. So I'm helping him with writing and storytelling, and I'm going to release a trilogy series that's set in the same world. And we've got the story wise is we've got stuff plotted out for quite literally years for that game that we're going to release in increments. And we've gone and we've designed this world so that it's still very familiar to land surveyors, but non-surveyors can read it, and it's not like we're not beating you over the head with principles and theory. But everything that we're using in the world, I mean, monuments are important. Part of the surveyors, the whole I don't know, the shtick, I guess, would be that there's this separate subgroup of land surveyors that also help kind of negotiate worlds or boundaries between our world and the other world. And so they go out, and we've thought of everything to these surveyors' license numbers matter. So certain LS numbers are reserved. The monuments play a huge role in it. We have even the equipment. So your survey equipment, like chains, the Gunter chains, we have silver Gunter chains. Everything has been a play on something that exists in the land surveying world. So the first book is going to be coming out. I'm hoping holiday time. I keep rewriting it, so it might be the new year. I think I've redone chapter 120 or 20ish times. So it's coming. The first one's going to be set in Victorian London. It's going to follow the Jack the Ripper killings. So it's going to be it's a far cry from Creatures of the Compass. So Creatures of the Compass, very lighthearted, lots of jokes because it's got to be funny. But this one, I wanted to kind of address more of the older audience and kind of really get into folklore, which isn't always happy. A lot of the time these stories, they give us something to be mad at, right? As we don't want to accept that nature is just what it is, and we want something to be angry at if it. So it's going to address some of the darker elements to it, but it's going to play into the game, and I'm going to be kind of tied to the game schedule of when, because I don't want to give too much of the storyline away, but the way that we have it written, I'm super excited about it. I can't get too far into it because then I'll get excited and I'll start spilling information, and then Colin's gonna
Sure.
be texting me. He's like, "What the hell are you doing?" So,
So
but we're
this next book is tied to the game. Is that what I'm hearing?
all of them. The whole series is going to be
Oh,
set in
even
the same world.
okay.
So this one, we're going to release it before the game, so you can read the book. You kind of have an understanding of the setting and the different tools and how the dungeons will work when you're playing the game. But yeah, so the first one's going to be a Surveyor Saga Point of Beginning. It's book one,
Nice.
and yeah, I'm super excited about it. I've got some beta readers that have come back. Surveyors and non-surveyors alike are liking it. So I'm going to try my absolute darndest to finish this first chapter revision and get that to you guys. And if you want, I'm going to put it on you, so then you guys are the bad guys if you don't. So,
Oh, there we
but
go.
I'll send it to you. If you guys want to post it, then read the first 3 chapters, and if anybody out there does read it, feel free to message me on Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever, and say, hey, I liked this. I don't really like this. Maybe try this. But yeah, it was the meeting Colin was a huge shift
Oh
because
yeah.
both of us had these like pieces and we weren't really sure what to do with them, and we started comparing notes, and it was like,
Mm,
oh, we have something cool here. So our hope
mhm.
is that, even if it's just a couple surveyors, if they can take this out and go play with their kids, and at least open up a conversation to, no, I don't really fight monsters every day, but we do these things, and we get to go, and you're going to have to actually hike to these monuments or do these different things, and it'll
Sure.
open up a conversation about what we actually do, and it'll be educational, but we want it to be fun first and educational
Sure.
second. So
Is it
no.
almost like a Pokemon for surveyors?
Kind of. So you'll be playing in the overworld. So kind of like Pokemon Go, you'll see your figure on a map, but when you approach a dungeon, you're going to interact with it, and then you have to solve a puzzle. And some of the
Mm,
puzzles we're doing are like you have to read GLO notes and then pinpoint where that point's supposed to go on the map. There's some alignment puzzles where you have to rotate a map to fit like a record map. So you're gonna have to solve these puzzles, and then it'll enter a dungeon. And when you're in the dungeon, then it's like a controller-based game, and it's cool. Some of the beta stuff, and we're still just in beta, probably even just alpha. It's rough, but the worlds that the coder that we're working with, I mean, it's cool. I'm excited. So, and all of the creatures that we have that are going to be in the game are going to be from Creatures of the Compass, I'm going to be working on an expanded book. That one was cut down tremendously. I think I had 110 creatures in that book, and originally I had like 400 and some listed. So I'm gonna work as soon as this one's done. I've got a couple other book series that I'm starting also. So I'll circle back to creatures too, and hopefully have a desk edition. So, but this, as long as we have, even a handful of people that are enjoying the game and playing the game, we're going to keep updating it because we're doing it because we love it. So we're excited.
Yeah. Another passion. So cool. So, the book, how do people find Creatures of the Compass? What's the best way for them to get a copy of that?
So right now it's on Amazon. If you search Creatures of the Compass, it'll pop up. And it's also, if you search my name, just Dustin Gardner, it'll pop up. I've changed it. We're on the second edition now. It's orange because, man, the white covers were a bad idea. I don't know what Amazon does with those things, but it looks like they play soccer with them. But yeah, the new one's orange, and I think the most important addition we have was we've added a tribute to Amanda's son Johnny, who that was the best review that I've ever gotten. Amanda texted me one day, and I got this from most people from Creatures of the Compass. They're like, my kid took my book and won't give it back. Farrah, I think, bought a couple because she's like, I got 3 kids and they're all fighting over it. And, but Amanda texted me one morning, and it's a picture of Johnny sitting on the chair reading the book, and then a couple hours later she sends me another picture, and I'm like, well, that's weird. That's the same picture. And she sends a follow-up text. She says he hasn't moved from the spot. He's read it cover to cover in one sitting. And so, getting an 11-year-old to, especially a modern day 11-year-old, to sit and read a book for hours, it's like, I don't care if the rest of you hate this book. That was the best review I've ever gotten. So it was a big deal to add him in. So
that is so cool. So cool. We've got the OG white cover book here in the studio.
Oh yeah.
I gotta carry this with me next time I see Dustin and have him autograph it.
Yes.
Yep. And we're gonna have I'm putting together a basket for Westfed, and it'll have the first, second, and the first book of the Surveyor Saga, along with some other items. We've got a railroad knife that's going to go in the basket, and there'll be applicable stuff. I'm not going to send you home with a bunch of trash, but it'll be stuff that you can use. But still a couple first editions left.
3D print some of the creatures, put them on keychains.
Yeah,
you could do it. Well, even like this logo on the front, do something with that. That is so cool.
Yeah, we're I'll give
it's a tattoo. Someone should get that tattoo right there.
I'm thinking about it. It's just the price of tattoos, man. It's like you don't understand. I'm a land surveyor. That's a week's salary. I can't get the tattoo.
Well, you don't have to get it to cover your whole back, Dustin. You can just put it on your forearm or something.
Yeah. Now, well, one of the things, and we're going to, I'll probably reach out to ServCap there in Arizona and get one done. But one of the elements that we're incorporating in the book and the game is the monuments, and part of them will be like a consumable amulet, and these things will have certain symbols on them, and they do certain things. So I wanted a couple of actual brass caps that have some different seals on them, and there's a lot we can do. I mean, so much.
Oh, there's so much you could do. Because I'm thinking think about when a surveyor passes away or something, right? Have the family member reach out to Dustin, and then Dustin creates something.
Make it part of a part of the dungeon or something.
Something. How cool would that be?
That would be. It'd be a legacy. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
We're well ahead of you. So
What?
there's
Damn
some. Yep. No, that's one of it. Johnny is going to be in the game. He's an important person in the book series. He will be in the game, and so part of this game too, as you're exploring these dungeons, you're going to find letters and notes that'll help you from past surveyors. And so we're about to, for the Kickstarter, I'm going to be re-releasing Creatures of the Compass, but I'm doing it through a private printer the way that I wanted it, because I wanted this to be a hardbound cloth book like the old books.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm going to add more stuff. There'll be more content into it, but the point of it is it's going to be like you found Percy Fawcett's book, and I don't know if you're familiar with that, if you've seen Lost City of Z. But we're going to do like a historical fiction with him. If you haven't seen Lost City of Z,
I haven't seen it.
You have to. So Percy Fawcett was a land surveyor, World War One, and he was going back and retracing a boundary in South America somewhere, and he discovers this city, this advanced city deep in the Amazon, and he comes back to Britain and he's like, "Hey, I found this. There was advanced civilizations there." No one believed him, and so he goes back and finally gets approval to try and find this city again back in the jungle, and goes missing. No one knows what happened to him.
Mm,
But it's The Lost City of
wow.
Z. It's a movie. I think it's on Netflix. It's got to be streaming on somewhere. It's awesome. It's a lot of fun, and you can
Hmm.
drive your spouse nuts because I'm sure they don't hear enough about surveying as it is. Um, so
Have to check
it's
that
worth a
out.
watch. So and there's so many like survey. If you know dig deep enough, there's a
Yeah.
surveyor involved in every story. They're like the Masons. It's like this conspiracy thing that surveyors are
Yeah.
just out there causing troubles. But so it's going to be his book, and there's only going to be 17 of these special edition books, and that it's important later on. The
Wow.
17 people who get this book, each of those 17 is going to have a unique sigil in the back, and we're hoping, but it's up to the people that buy them, and it's up to the community that they will put it out to the community, and you're going to have to figure out this puzzle together of what do these have to do with each other, how do they correlate to the game. There's going to be some
That's freaking
special stuff
awesome.
with it. So but there's going to be a whole nother story embedded in Creatures of the Compass as well as other stuff, so that's going to be coming out soon.
Wow.
So
That's awesome. I got to tell you, I was watching Scooby Doo the other day, and Velma said something about a land surveyor.
No way.
I swear to God, I was
Which one?
watching.
Which one was Velma? The
I the short
orange
one.
sweatshirt.
orange.
Yeah,
Orange. Okay.
yeah. They were because they were looking for something. It was like I don't know what it was. And I was like, I wasn't watching it necessarily. It was on in the background. My
Sure.
somebody else is watching it. How about that? I overheard it. I was like, well, hold on a second, back that up. And sure as shit, he said something about having a land surveyor. It's part of the
Everything.
everything. Yeah,
Yep.
everything, even Scooby Doo. What else? Is there anything we're missing, Dustin, that you're doing that we haven't given you an opportunity to talk about yet?
Oh man,
All good
that's
stuff. Holy cow.
yeah.
Really good
The
stuff.
the writing and the books between work and dad time and stuff. That's
Yeah.
mostly my work. So I'm
Yeah.
running between one of the four things: surveying, nonprofit, writing, or dad. So, but
It
loving
keeps you
it.
out of trouble.
All full
Oh
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Keeps you out of
Well,
trouble.
the surveying
Um,
part puts me in trouble. It's unavoidable.
yeah, that's the thing that gets you in trouble out of all that stuff. That's great. Well, Will mentioned something about leaving a legacy, and I love having conversations about that, because it's huge. That's all you have is the legacy that you leave. So, Dustin, I mean, you're still pretty young in your career. You're young in your writings and this and that, but when it's all said and done, and people look back at you in your career, what's like something you hope that they'll say you brought to the world, whether it be in surveying or even beyond the surveying community.
Well, it's gonna be kind of wild coming on a geospatial podcast and saying this, but I hope I'm not remembered as a worker or a surveyor. I hope I'm remembered as somebody. It's like, yeah, he was a good friend. He was there when you needed him, or yeah, he did a good job as a dad. And even if that's really the only person I'm looking for that legacy from is my little boy. So that's what I'm aiming for. I'm very proud of being surveyor. It's especially 4 generations long, and my great grandpa was one of Kurt Brown's chainmen.
Oh
So we
wow.
have that tie, and it's like, so it's you come into this and you're like, I have really big shoes to fill because the guys that came before me were really damn good at this. So I'm proud of what I'm doing, and I'm still learning. Gosh, there's so much to learn. So I'm only 7 years into this, but man, it's the amount of stuff that you learn. I was listening to Dane Corville's
Oh
episode
yeah.
this morning,
Hmm.
and I was in the same boat as him. It's like, yeah, I learned about it, but when my day one, I couldn't tell you the difference between a bearing and an azimuth. I just told you,
Hmm.
I'll put the hammer or put the nail where you tell me to. But
Yep.
so come a long
Yep.
way. But yeah, I hope I'm remembered for being a dad and a friend. So
I love it. I love it.
Awesome, man.
You want to hit him with the mantra question? It's usually producer Sean's job, but I think you got this, Will.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you had a mantra that you live by, that you would, you know, support, what would that be?
ah, something to the effect of time, effort, and money that's invested in making someone else's life better is never wasted.
Mm,
Nice.
I'm making note of this here so I can mention it here in a second. That's an awesome one. I love that one. What else? Anything else you want to get? Will, you got any other final questions?
No,
This has
man.
been amazing.
Yeah, it's been great. I'm glad we finally got you on here, and I love what you're doing. I mean, I know I kind of
How can you not,
I
right?
kind of volunteered Dustin for a lot of stuff, and I know he's got his plate full.
Hey, at least
Yeah.
he called you a friend earlier and
That's
a
right.
mentor, so
But
you're still in the good list.
Yes.
Yeah, he texted me one night and he's like, "Hey, I signed us up for Dimensions and Geo Week in West Bed, and we're talking at all of them." And it's like, "Oh, okay, off we go."
Yes.
We go. I love it.
Yes. No, you're
Good
you're
stuff.
doing great, and
Oh, keep it up.
yeah, keep it up, and
Surround yourself with like-minded
Yep.
people. That's key.
Absolutely. Yep.
How about you, Dustin? Anything else you want to throw out there before we let you go?
No, no, I think we covered it all. Do
We
good,
did.
add value, right?
Did indeed. Add value, make friends.
Absolutely.
No doubt about it. Well, we appreciate your time. This has been amazing. Thank you.
Thanks
And
for
thank you
having me.
for picking Waylon Jennings as well.
Yes.
Adding value, making friends. Check both those boxes. Although Dustin was already a friend before the show. We're just better friends now. Added tremendous value as usual. If anyone would like to be a guest on a future show, shoot us an email at info@thegeoholics.com. Will, thanks for being here, man.
Oh, you
That
bet.
was awesome. Love having you on the show. A huge thanks to our partners, Emlid, Topodot, Altera Central, Hexagon, NLC Prep, GeoNet, David Evans and Associates, and of course, DK at Diamondback Land Surveying. Could not do this without you. Waylon Jennings, the Dukes of Hazzard thing. We were talking before the show. It's one of our favorite shows. Until next time, everyone, pay it forward. Be a good friend. Leave a legacy. Be proud of what you do. Time, effort, and money invested in somebody is never wasted.
Never.
Most importantly,
Love
be
it.
safe and healthy.
Awesome, man.